One, two, three. Let's begin. This time we'll talk about a very particular example, Novartis, and the role would be data science related. How to go about researching for such a role. In the last episode we talked about the why and the how of it. Feel free to check out. Now, when you are watching this episode A, this is a very personal sort of methodology, so you can obviously have your own ways. B, even if you are going to adopt this method, make sure that you do something extra, go that extra mile, because in case some people watch it and they happen to be your competitors in the same placement process, so you should try to stay ahead of them. Yeah, it's the truth. So let's start. One of the few things that lots of people are gonna know, like everyone who is sitting for a company like this would know is, or would do research about, is that okay, when it was founded, March 1996, where is it headquartered, something like the Indian office of the company, the industry, and some news related to that industry, then something about the CEO. So all those sort of things a person is very likely to know. But we need to do more than that. And before I move ahead, I'll just do a quick recap of the how. So we would be referring to the company website and its YouTube channel, then some news related to the industry, and other YouTube videos or some website related to the company. So those are the things that we should probably refer to. If you have other ways, feel free to try them out. So let's begin with the company website. So when you visit the website, the first thing that you're going to see is a banner wherein you have this text which says, "Our company, we are reimagining medicine." Now, this is a clear indication of what company is trying to stand for. When you are trying to reimagine something, you are portraying yourself as someone who is innovative. So that adjective will be helpful in an interview. Okay, so why do you want to work at Novartis? Because of the innovative culture, and we will again continue to discover more and more adjectives to associate ourselves better with the company. Then it talks about coronavirus, and it's sort of mandatory for a pharmaceutical company to talk about COVID response. So yeah, that's understandable. Then there is something very interesting which says World Heart Day, from our heart to yours. Now it could have been written that we are working on medicines or devices to help your heart, but no, the framing is in a certain way, from our heart to yours, trying to build a connection with the end user, the end consumer. So empathy sort of thing would be my takeaway from it. Then there is this very interesting thing about Novartis Biome. Now, Novartis Biome is an incubation center of sorts, an ecosystem wherein Novartis invites other startups working in healthcare and pharmaceutical to innovate, to develop by creating an ecosystem. So this is very interesting, a good initiative, and they want to highlight on that. So three things that we can draw from the first page itself: innovation, empathy, and co-collaboration, or whatever. Now the company website is obviously large, so you'll need to be very focused about what you want to concentrate your attention on. And then in this area, when you go to our focus, of course you can explore yourself, but when I explored, so what caught my eye was platforms and technology. You have this data and digital thing, which is very relevant to the role we are talking about, which should be your focus if you are appearing for this role. If you have some other profile, then probably you can explore the other sections as well. But for this role, some role related to data science, this is going to be my gold mine of information. But when you open that section, you will find that you have lots of articles. Now, if you know about the company, that the company is going to visit, say, a month in advance, then probably it makes sense to be diligent and make notes about everything, go through every article and do that sort of stuff. But otherwise, you need to optimize. You need to choose very clearly which articles would you be able to talk about in an interview, and that would be totally up to you. So optimize, try to focus more on the generic sort of stuff in data and digital, some innovation probably. Just make sure that you don't devote too much energy into going through everything. Do less, but do that with proper effort and proper energy. So that would be it. Now if you visit the Novartis YouTube channel, again, lots of content, and they seem to be very active there, but again you will have to pick and choose. So I chose this interview by not an interview, it was a sort of a seminar probably, wherein the CEO is talking about reimagining medicine with data and digital. And from that you get a certain ideas wherein he talks about how biology is incredibly complex. Then a very interesting point that he makes is that how hard they have to work to build a training data set. And he then talks about new possibilities, talks about digital insights, and how unstructured machine learning can be used for intervention and marking disease progression. Those sort of things which are very important if you are appearing for a data science related role. It's like this is what you wanted to hear. Now he talks about the hype of AI as well, but he's convinced that okay, the era has begun. There is hype, but it has begun. Then again, Novartis Biome features again about how it is a co-creation ecosystem. Then there are certain issues about AI and ethics. So these sort of things you need to have an opinion on. Make sure you do your research about how ethics relates to artificial intelligence, all sorts of stuff. And he also goes on to talk about why disruption is happening and how beneficial it is for a company like Novartis. So these sort of things you will hear in this interview. Explore more, watch 2-3 more videos, and again, if you see a few more videos, you will see that the company is trying to come across as having empathy towards the patients, which should give you a very good idea about what culture they want to build, what image they want to build. So that is an important point. Then you go to the news section and maybe just type Novartis artificial intelligence, and then you again have some articles. You have to be again exercising the 80-20 rule. Minimize the number of articles that you pick. Maybe pick 2 or 3, whichever you find good from the description, and then make sure that you study them well, know them like the back of your hand, that sort of thing. Then for other sources, there is again one interview by the CEO, and this one is based more about the company culture. So the previous one, the seminar, the talk that he gave was more focused on technology. This time it has elements of technology, but it also talks about the company culture. It is titled being a CEO of an unbossed company. So that unbossed word itself gives you a clue about the kind of culture you are going to encounter, and you will be able to present yourself as someone who has diligently studied, taken the effort to know about the company culture in advance and how you are going to be a great fit in a team at Novartis. So that should make interviewers very happy. Now, one thing that I am not covering and I cannot cover is the job description. Your job description can be absolutely different for different data science roles, right? So in such a scenario, what you should be doing is making sure that you understand every line of it, which isn't going to happen. Obviously, there are going to be some terms that you would not know about. So make sure you search those terms up, understand them. This is the most important aspect of company research. If something is written in the JD, you should go to any lengths to understand what they are talking about. There are going to be terms which might not be immediately clear, but a simple Google search would make it really clear for you, and it is important. You can have long conversations about the kind of role you are going to have, and it would be really helpful if you know the job description very well. So that's all for this episode. If you have any feedback, please let me know. You can drop me a mail, reach out to me via LinkedIn, and we would love to hear from you. That's all. Signing off.